Hi, welcome back to the Old Testament in a Year, and we're in Ezekiel 10, 11 and 12 today. And there's a bit of a spoiler alert right at the beginning of our reading today when the headline is "The glory departs from the temple." And I don't know if you've had that thing where you go in, like you're going to watch a film or read a book and someone has already given away something significant that's going to happen, and you can't help but watch or read everything in the light of what you already know. Sometimes even the title of the film might give it away, like "Don't go into the woods, you'll die there," and you're watching the whole thing going, "Don't go into the woods, you'll die there," and it kind of puts a different sound on everything that you watch, and you're feeling that tension. Don't go into the woods. And it's a bit like that reading Ezekiel today. I mean, what a statement. The glory of the Lord departs from the temple. Way back when we were reading Chronicles, we got to the point where the temple was finished and consecrated and dedicated to the Lord, and the glory of the Lord filled that place. Such a beautiful scene that we kind of witness as we read Chronicles, and like the Lord sort of affirming his people and affirming the temple and saying, yes, I want to fill it. Here I am with all of the weight of my beautiful, glorious presence. And then kind of fast forward and come right back to where we are today. And it's like, spoiler alert, the glory of the Lord, it's going. He's off. He won't stay. He won't honour them anymore with his presence, not with the way that they're living. And it's, I don't know about you, but it's like that gutting thing as you're reading it, feeling that sadness. And yet, my goodness, if we're not getting it yet, it's like being drummed into us at every stage of reading the Bible together, that even in the midst of punishment, even in the midst of situations that would cause despair and sorrow, there's always the promise of redemption. And it's another sort of spoiler alert, you know, of like, it's all going to come good. And again, if you've ever watched a movie where you know the ending, that affects everything else that you read. It's almost like one of my favourite films, The Shawshank Redemption. If you've read it, you'll know that word redemption it is such a spoiler alert for what happens in that film. And it's the same way that we have a spoiler alert continuously in the Bible. No matter how bad it gets, no matter what the punishment was, no matter how people are living, there is the spoiler alert that everything will be made new when Jesus comes, which we're now living post that. And so, for example, I just love these words today then in chapter 11, where it prophesies, even in the midst of that, it promises that Israel will return. And it talks about the Lord gathering people back. And then he says this, I will give them an undivided heart and put a new spirit in them. I will remove from them their heart of stone and give them a heart of flesh. Always the promise of redemption. This is the God that we worship, that even though he sees sin for what it is, even though he calls sin out for what he is, he cannot stop, he will not stop drawing his people back to him, softening hearts, turning people back to him. This is the God that we follow. This is the God that we worship. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.